Kadosh Boker Tov, Masechet Ketubot Daf Amud Aleph 17a1. The Gemara was speaking about, and this is what we started Tanu Rabbanan on Tetzayin Amud Bet, the last line where it says, we learned in a Braita, Tanu Rabbanan Keitza Menagdin Lifnei Kala. How do you dance in front of the Kala? What do you say in front of her when you dance in front of the Kala? So Bet Shammai Omrim, Bet Shammai come and they say, Kala Kemot Shehi. The Kala, according to how she is. If she's beautiful, right? You're not going to come and praise her with something that she doesn't have. And if she's got a defect, you don't praise her at all. Yeah? But you're not going to come and praise her with something that she does not have. Bet Hillel says, Kala na'ava chasuda, which means that you're always going to say the Badat Chen, and she's finding favor in the eyes of everybody. Says, imagine right now she's lame or she's blind. You're going to tell her she's a kala na'ava chasuda. She's a beautiful kala and she's a chasida. The Torah says, distance yourself from falsehood. According to your words, said, I don't understand you. If somebody's going to take a mekachra, a bad mekach, a bad purchase, he made a bad deal. He bought a wrong thing from the shuk. You're going to praise it or you're going to make it bad? So obviously you're going to make it bad. You're going to make it good. Why? What are you kicking a dead horse? The guy went and he made a mistake. If he could return it or it's before he does it, that's something different. Because before he does it or before he returns it, so then okay, fine. But if it's going to be afterwards, what do you want? You understand? It's already too late. It's already afterwards. What do you want? So Mikan, from here we learn, Amru Chachamim, the rabbis say, Leolam teheh dato shel adam me'orevet im habriot. A person should always be me'orav im habriot. What does that mean? He should always be mixed with the briot, with the people. So that means mixed. Don't no. What does that mean? Try to be with them. So therefore, if he's already buying it, okay, fine. So it's already too late. So you might as well just praise him. Well, you're going to give him a good feeling. What are you doing? In a sense, you might as well give him a good feeling. Kiata Ravdimi, just like Ravdimi came. Amar, and he said, Hachi mashru kameh kaleta b'ma'arava. This is what they used to sing to a kala in Eretz Israel. Lo chal velo srak velo pirkus. She doesn't need any makeup, whether it's going to be for the eyes, right? All the eye different things, or for the somek, which is, like the makeup, foundation, all these things, and not the hair, and she's so beautiful. So that was actually, it's called a natural beauty, right? Why? Because sometimes you come in with the makeup and with the thing, you make a woman that she's the ugliest thing in the world, all of a sudden she make her look beautiful. But that's not a praise. The praise is that she's a natural beauty. So that's what they used to say in Eretz Israel, that she doesn't need no makeup, no this, no that, nothing. And she's still a natural beauty. When the rabbis came and they gave semicha to Rabbi Zera, sharu lehachi, they also sang for him. What does that mean? The kavanah was that even though he was very, very tsanua, and he was not mitznai bilvushim with nice, clothing and everything like that, he still always has chen. When the rabbis came and they gave semicha to Rabbi Yami and Rabbi Asi, this is the way that they sang to him. Kol minden vechol minden smocha lana. Right? Anybody like this, right? They are going to be smicha to be considered Rebbe and to count them as dayanim, which means they're fitting for smicha. That's, by the way, what they usually write nowadays also in the semichot. Lo tismechu lanav lo b'minas samisin, right? But don't come and start, giving semicha to these people that they change the halachot, or from the samitim, smartutim, which are people that give not good reasons. Ve'amrin lo min chamisin, or not from people that they only say a fifth of the reason. Ve'lo tarmusin, or not from the turmusin, which, okay, Rashi doesn't actually explain it. They say that it's like a type of a kitnit, so it's coming up. Yeah, lupins. Basically, it comes, empty people, basically. That's what it comes and it says. So Rabbi Yavu, ki hava ati mitivta lebekesar, when Rabbi Yavu used to come to the Bet of the house of the Caesar, nafka ramata lebekesar le'apeh u'mashin le'achi, he used to come and he used to sing to him, Rabba de'ameh, nasi of his nation, right, like the prince of his nation, medabrana de'umate, the manhig, he's the leader of his people. Rabba de Amir, right? Mutzina dinora. Ner amir, the light which illuminates. Berich matiach lishlam. Baruch huecha l'shalom. So imagine, this is what the maidservants used to come and say, right, when he used to come. So imagine this. You know what that is? Okay. Fine. Now it says, Amru alav Rabbi Yehuda bar Ilai. They used to say Rabbi Yehuda bar Ilai, she'noten bat shel hadas u'menakeh lifnei hakala. So he used to take a badim of hadasim. A bad, he used to take a myrtle, the hadas, and he used to dance in front of the kala, and he used to say, Kalana v'chasudah. Rav Shmuel bar Yitzchak menakeh atlat. Rav Shmuel bar Yitzchak used to dance with 3 anfei hadas, which means he used to juggle. He used to throw it up and receive them. So this is what Amar Bizera. Kamach siflan saba. He says, what? The Saba, the Zaken, you're embarrassing us, but you're being mizalzel in Tamidei Chachamim. So Kinach Navsheh, but when he passed away, Ifsik, Amuda Denuda Ben Dideh Lechuli Alma. There was an Amud of Esh, it was a pillar of fire between him and everybody else. But there is only going to be an Amud only for 1 or 2 in his generation. So you see how powerful it is that he was actually doing something good. He was being Mesameach Chatam Lekala, coming and doing all these things. But it was actually something very important. Amar Bizera, says Bizera, Ahanya leshtutete Saba. Look how much it helped, right? This for the Saba, right? Ve'amir le'nsaba shtutete Saba. The shtut of the zakan helped him. Ve'amir le'nsaba say shitate Saba. The shita. So basically, do you say shutite is an anaf hadas, which is a myrtle branch? Shtut is like a nonsense, or shitate his shita, the way that he acted. So therefore, the 3 different opinions, but each one, they helped the Saba. It helped, right? It helped Rabbi Zera. Ravacha used to put the kala on his shoulders and used to dance. The rabbi said, Ana mawa, we're allowed to do that as well. You could put the kala on your shoulders and start dancing. He told them, if they're going to be like in your eyes, like a korah, which means that mamash, you don't even think about anything. So then, right, lechaye, then it's going to be permitted. Vila lo, but if not, no. Which means that if you're able to put it on your shoulders and you're not thinking about anything, so then yes. But the second that you have any type of a thought, basur. There's nothing what to talk about. So Amar Shmuel bar Nachmani, Amar Rabbi Yonatan, said Shmuel bar Nachmani, Rabbi Yonatan, mutal listakel bifnei kala kol shiva. Do you know that you're allowed to look at the face of the kala? Okay, it says you're bifnei kala for the 7 days during the Sheva Berachot, kedei lechabeba al bala, in order to be mechabev ota al bala. Ve'letil chata kavateh, but the halacha is not like that. So Tanu Rabbanan, we learned in the Braita, ma'avirin and tamet milifnei kala. They're going to move the deceased from the kala. Ve'zeh milifnei melech Yisrael, and each one from melech Yisrael. Amru alav Agrippa zamelech shaval milifnei kala v'shlichu chamim. He went, right? That means basically that they passed him in front. That means when the kala is coming out and she's being, a journey, she's coming with the entourage and they don't want to mix. So therefore they put the met somewhere else in order that they continue with the kala. And that means she goes first. However, though, the Melech Yisrael comes before everybody. So Shibchu, Mikal the Shabirav is much more that he did good. The Amar Rashi came and he said, even according to the Mandam Nasi Shemachal Kvodo Kvodo Machul, that a Nasi could be Mochel al Kvodo, Melech Shemachal Kvodo and Kvodo Machul. But if it's a king, it's not Kvodo Machul. His fear has to be on you. So since he has to have a fear of you, so therefore meaning that you guys have to fear the king, so therefore that's why, right, he comes first for everything. So the question is that why is it that they went and they praised the Agrippa Zamelech, the fact that he let the kala go in front of him and he went on the side? It's supposed to be the Melech Shemachal Kvodo en Kvodo Machul. He's not supposed to forgive. So answers the Gemara, Parashat Derachim Abai. It was a Parashat Derachim, and therefore it's Ki'ilu that he was going on the other side, right? So he went on one side of the fork. And so what happened? It's a Parashat Derachim, which means like this. So now technically speaking, he was supposed to go on that side and he's supposed to go in front of the kala. But he didn't want to, but now he's not allowed to show that the kala goes in front of him because everyone has to be afraid of him. So he went on the other side. But he did it purposely, Ki'ilu, to let the kala go. So, but since it wasn't, as if say in front of it, so they praised him because he did it in a way that it's not going to be mizalzel in his kavod, because he's not allowed to. He's not allowed to be mizalzel in his kavod. He's not allowed to disgrace his kavod. But mitzad sheni, he did it. It was, very good what he did. So, Tanu Rabbanan, we learned in the Braita, matzlin tamut Torah le'altzat hamet u'lachnasat kala. Do you know you're allowed to be vatel Torah to go to a funeral or to do achnasat kala? Amru alav Rabbi Yehuda bar Ilai shayam vatel tamut Torah le'altzat hamet u'lachnasat kala. When you read these words, If they don't have enough what to give them kavod. But if there's enough people, you don't have to do it. You're not going to be Vatel Torah. Meaning, if they have enough people in the funeral, why are you going to come and start being Vatel Torah for that? Don't be Vatel Torah. You continue like normal. The Kama Kol Tzorko, how much is Kol Tzorko? Amar of Shmuel Bar Ini Mishmed Rav, says of Shmuel Bar Ini of Rav, Treisar Alfe Gavra. Gavre, right? What does that mean? 12,000 people, the Shita Alfe Shipur, and 6,000 that they blow the shofar. They come for the kavod. Uminayu Shita Alfe Shipurim. From within that 6,000 to Keshafar. Ula Amre, Ula comes and he says, yeah, so basically he comes and he says either it's going to be 12,000 plus 6,000, or right within the 6,000 you have the people that are blowing the shofar. So Ula Amar, Ula comes and he says within from the 12,000 you have the 6,000. Right? Ula comes and he says, for example, the Chaytze Gavre Abula V'Atzichra. You have enough people for a shura from Abula to Sichra. That's basically from the gates of the city until the kever. However, though, if somebody learns Torah his entire life, and therefore it's going to become now batel in his death, so therefore you have to have that when he's leaving the world, you have to have like when the Torah was given. Manetinata, just like when the Torah was given, it was with 600,000. Afnetilata, so too when they're going to take it away, it's going to be shishim ribo. It's going to be 600,000. And one of these words, leman dekare vetane, somebody that learns mikra and mishnayot as well. Okay, Yudzayin Mubet. Aval leman dematni. One second, but according to the one that comes and teaches to other people mishnayot, le shiura, there's no shiur whatsoever, right? There's no measurement. You just continue. Everyone just continues going to the funeral. The two dots on Yudzayin Mubet 17b says the Gemara, if they have witnesses that she came out with the hinuma. What is exactly the hinuma? My hinuma, Surcha bar Papa. Yeah, Surcha bar Papa says the name of the Zeiri Tanura de Asa. It's like a chuppah which is made out of hadassim. Okay, so it's like a chuppah which is something round made out of hadassim. Rabbi Yochanan Amar karita de menamna ba'kalata. It's a tza'if that she's mitnamnemet. What does that mean? That means basically she puts on the veil and it goes over her eyes. So because of that, sometimes she can actually fall asleep. That's why it's called hinuma, like truma, right? That she's falling asleep. She can fall asleep, you don't realize, right? It depends. Nowadays, sometimes they do it very, very see-through, so it's like she has nothing. But sometimes it's thicker that you can't really see. Rabbi Yochanan ben Broka says also if they give out toasted kernels, it's also a proof that she was a betula. Tana b'Yehuda raya, right? That's only going to be in Yehuda. It was a proof. Bebavel, what about in Bavel? Amar Rav says that duge de mishcha, no sichat shemen on the hands of the women. That means they used to put like the henna on the hands. Yeah, they used to put it. So it says that Reisha de Rabbanan or on the heads of the Talmidei Yeshiva. So Amaleh Rav Papa le'Abaye, it says Rav Papa to Abaye, mishcha de chafifuta kaman more. Is the kavanah of the Rav is that they used to come and they used to put it on like that, like Mamash washing the head. Amaleh, he said Yatma is a yatom. Lo avde lachaima de duge mishcha Reisha de Rabbanan b'shamase. Says what? Didn't your mother come and put the sichat shem and like? Didn't she anoint yourself with oil, right? Well, when you got married, just like a rabbi that he was getting his son married off, right to one of the daughters of Rabbi Ula, right to one of the daughters of the house of Rabbi Ula. And some people say Rabbi Ula is a little to another rabbi. They went and they put it on. Okay, so therefore, basically, it was a certain thing that they used to put like a type of oil on top of their heads. And that was the proof that she was a betula. What do they do in Bavel to know that the kala is an almana? So Tana Rav Yosef, armalata leila kisne. She doesn't have toasted kernels, right? And that's already the siman. Okay, next. Rav Yeshua admits that if somebody says to his friend that this field belonged to your father, but I purchased it for him, he's going to be believed. Why didn't you say this field was your field? Why did he have to go to the father? This field belonged to your father, and now he bought it from him. No, this field belonged to you, and I bought it from you. So answers the Gemara, the Kabbalah was the Seifa. But if there's a deem that it belonged to him, he's not going to be believed. What's the case? If he was there for already 3 years, and therefore there's a chazakah because he ate for 3 years in the field, why is he not going to be believed? He doesn't need a proof anymore. If he doesn't have the 3 years, obviously he's not going to be believed. So says the Gemara, so the same thing with the father. If he was there for 3 years, why is he not going to be believed? Then if he didn't eat for the 3 years, Obviously, he's not going to be believed. So says the Gemara, I understand because of the father, mashkachalai could happen. For example, he ate 2 years in the life of the father and 1 in the life of the son. Like Rav Huna, but Rav Huna says, it means there's not going to be a chazakah in katan even if he's going to become older. Okay? So says the Gemara that basically what we're trying to say is that what happens if you had 2 years in the life of the father and 1 year in the life of the son? So he says, even if he's going to get old. So now the Gemara says, Rav Huna, and according to Rav Huna, matznitin ata lashmina, and what is he coming to teach us a Mishnah? So if you want, you could teach us that Rav Huna was diuk at matnitikam. He's giving you a diuk in the Mishnah, which is trying to say that since it's not mefurash in the Mishnah, it's not written explicitly, so he wanted to just teach that to you. If you want, you could answer, it's coming to teach you that even if he got older, there's no chazakah, which means like this. When a person is a child and the father passes away, and then afterwards, the person continues eating during the lifetime of the child. So it's not a proof anymore. Why is it not a proof? Because at the end of the day, the child doesn't know better. So he's going to say, yeah, but I was eating in the field for 10 years. Well, he was a child when the father passed away. So he doesn't know that this belonged to the father and now you're taking it away from him. And that he doesn't understand. So because of that, even though they're eating during the lifetime of the child, since the child was a yatom, right, and it was before bar mitzvah, now it was higdil, it's still not a good proof. So why don't we just teach it and say, you ate 2 years in front of him, 1 year not in front of him. For example, you had to run away the 3rd year. So it says the Gemara, why is he running away? If he's running away because he's afraid of his life, right, that they're going to kill him, right? So then obviously he's not going to be believed, right? Because he can't even do a mecha. Imagine a person becomes a fugitive, so he's running for his life. So somebody that's going to be eating in his house, he can't do anything about it. He's running for his life. You think he cares about his house? Even if he wanted to say something, he can't say anything, right? And if you're going to tell me the barach mechama mamon that he's running away because of money, so he could do a mecha. If you make a mecha not in front of him, it's still a good mecha. What does that mean, a mecha shelo b'fanav? Meaning, if you come and you rebuke that's not in front of him, it's still considered a good mecha. The Tanambas we learned in the Mishnah, shalosh aratzot lachazaka, that there's going to be three aratzot for chazaka. Yehuda v'redeh megalil, Yehuda v'redeh megalil, haya b'Yehuda v'chzik begalil. Imagine right now he's in Yehuda, and he was machzik in the Galil, or in Galil and machzik in Yehuda. Ena chazaka, it's not a chazaka. Ad she'imo b'mdina, until he's going to be in the same place. So Avinam Batz, we ask, Maika Savar, what exactly are we talking about? If you hold mecha shelo b'fanav is considered a mecha, so then even Yehuda and Galil also, so it should be the same thing. Because if you're going to tell me mecha shelo b'fanav don't be mecha, if you're going to rebuke and it's not going to be in front of him, it's not considered a mecha. So even in the same like state of Yehuda and Yehuda namilo, it's not going to be good. So Rabbi says, Olam Kasava really holds mecha shelo b'fanav and mecha, it's considered mecha. Umatznitin b'shat cherum shanu, but our Mishnah is talking about shat cherum. Shat cherum means in a time of pressing need, which is basically like, for example, a war, right? And therefore there's no caravans going from one place to another, and therefore in such a place, right? That's why it's not considered a mecha, because nobody could hear about it. Yeah. So Ma'ishna Yehuda v'Galil denekat. So why did we get Yehuda v'Galil? So answers the Gemara, Distam Yehuda v'Galil, right? Because basically it was always like going to be that there were not a lot of common caravans going from one place to another. It was always like there was a war there. So because of that, if you're in one place and another one's another place, it's not considered a good mecha, because how does he know now that he has to keep his receipts for another 5 years or for I don't know how many years? He doesn't know anything about it, right? You're making a mecha somewhere else. He has no clue about it. Nobody knows. So that's it. So it's not going to be a good mecha, right? If it's going to be in a place of war. Have a wonderful day.